Speedball.
Hello again, wrestling fans, and welcome back to another Dirt Sheet Radio Presents, the TNA Recap for March 28th, 2024. I am Matt, a.k.a. That Corner Reviewer. I guess I shouldn't say that because, they're Matt Cornette again. And joining me is the IWC War Chief and the man we have found in the Canadian wilderness. Yes. He is back after a month hiatus. Randy, how you doing? Ruben.
I'm so scared all the time. But for the next however long this podcast is, I have been guaranteed that I will be protected. And so thank you for saving me. I wish you would come. I wish you had saved me sooner. Like I've missed.
No. We thought about it.
There's a lot of woods in Canada too.
Yeah, we didn't know where specifically where you were.
And everything is so far away.
Yeah,
and, Jesus Christ.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, I apologize for us not being live last week because I heard that Keno was also lost in the Canadian wilderness because he was depressed after being rejected by Izumi on Valentine's Day. So I went to go look for him. I had to motivate him. Said, "There's a chance. There's still a chance for you, Keno."
So you see what it is.
Partner for the All Together show. You can
You'll drop everything for that person, but for me, you're like,
ah. Yeah. Then I saw you. Was like, I have looked all over for you.
But no, you have to realize, Keno got rejected on Valentine's Day, so it takes Matt about a month to do anything.
So I had to give him the Naruto pep talk, and then he's like, "You're right.
You're right."
Perfect. And this is where we were. Then like, okay, there you are. I bumped into you, and then we had Gianni Valina also chased us in that chain, and now he is now lost in the wilderness by himself.
He can stay lost though.
He can stay lost. That's fine. He can go.
Okay. So we're happy he's going to get eaten by a bear. Okay.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm on the same page.
We gave him the most word of mouth I think he's ever had in his career in the last month. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you guys are so nice.
Dude,
we should. Man, I should have tagged.
So
him.
Now that I'm back, let's kill the word of mouth. He's had his time.
We're just done.
It's about me now. Well,
until someone else has to go missing.
Yeah, until someone else. But I'll tell you what, with how good the show was tonight, I don't think I want to go missing anytime soon. It was really fun.
It was definitely a fun show, and we're glad to have you back here with us after the month excavating, being gone. And let's get to it, guys, shall we? Beginning was the return of the 8-4-1 match, which is basically an 8-man tag, and the winning team must fight in a fatal 4-way. And we had the tragic news that Ash by Elegance could not compete, thanks to Zaya Brookside.
No, I thought she had oral surgery or something like that.
Yeah, she had cosmetic surgery. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. My girlfriend watched with me. She's never seen a full wrestling show, correct? She has never seen a full wrestling show. So TNA tonight had the opportunity to bring her into the wrestling fold. She called the cosmetic surgery before they said it, loved it. But I just have to say, first off, an 8-4-1 match is brilliant, but as somebody who hasn't watched a lot of TNA, I wish they had explained it slightly better. And I wish they had announced the teams and spent more time putting them over, because it wasn't until the pinfall that we fully understood what was happening as,
right,
I guess, casual TNA fans. So I wish they had done that. However, once the match started, I really liked how everybody got a bit of a shine. And the Ash thing, I know I said it during the debut that it was brilliant. It is so brilliant. And building up the Zaya Brookside stuff with everything that happened with now the cosmetic surgery issues, the permanent irreparable damage. Loved all of it. And
she couldn't be touched for 72 hours.
Yeah, and she made it almost 10 minutes. But I loved as well that Amy said, and I quote, "I can't wait to see her kick some ass." And she did. And it was great.
Yes. The participant, well, because of this, she had to get a replacement, and the replacement was Steph DeLander. So it was Steph DeLander, Danny Luna, Zaya Brookside, and Rosemary taking on Alicia Edwards, Jody Threat, Masa Simovic, and Havoc. And, the first part, it was a was a standard 8-man tag match. Everyone had a little bit to shine.
Yeah.
But Luna was able to get the surprise win with a roll-up on Masha Slamovich. So now it is now Rosemary, Zaya, Danny Luna, and Steph DeLander. So Ash, getting that representative, like, I got my replacement. She's winning. She's gonna win it for me, basically. Let's go. We're ready. So I wonder if Steph will stick with Ash after, or is it just like, this is just a replacement?
I think it was just a replacement thing to build up an Ash and Zaya thing later as the match continued. You know, Zaya gets tossed to the outside and hits Ash by elegance, and thankfully by this time I think the audio
what a heel from Zaya hurting Ash like that. That was not okay.
Unreal. And then Ash coming back, I loved all of that, and it allowed the 4 to become the 2 and slowly, get to the finish. And I didn't like how they didn't explain things super well, but I liked what I saw enough that it made me want to go and research the ladies involved.
Yeah,
they didn't get the time to set up, but they did their best to make it work, and I think they did.
Yeah, this was the second time they did the 841. I think the last time was a pay-per-view a couple months ago, Slammiversary.
Really? I like the concept, honestly. It's unique. I like it.
Yeah, I don't remember where they did the first one, but yeah, I do recall that this was the second time they did it.
Mm-hmm.
And with the 4 knockouts we had, nicely done. But Steph DeLander actually got the pinfall after the TKO. But
that was also after a certain return.
Yes, the return of Matt Cardona. King of the Indies. He's back in the Indies.
I love that finisher, though. I've always loved the leg lariat. Big fan of it. And I kind of expected something when I saw Steph DeLander, but I don't care. I still like it. I thought everybody got to shine a little bit, and I did care more about the knockouts than I did before the match started. So they did their job in that aspect. But Ash by elegance is still the highlight, even though she wasn't in the match.
Yes.
And I'm really excited for next week.
Yeah, she defended herself against this dastardly Zaya Brookside, pushed her in the ring post, and the ref had the audacity to kick her out. Like,
who does that? She also spilled her $4,000 bottle of champagne.
Yeah, so the rest that's gonna come out of the rest salary.
Yeah, that should.
Yeah, not cool, man.
Poor Ash.
But this gives Jordynne Grace a new challenger. I'm gonna assume this is gonna be for a Rebellion. I gave it a 3.
Out of 4 or out of 5?
Out of 5.
Yeah, 3 out of 5 is fine. I liked what they did. They're gonna have to do more though to get DeLander on a level where I even think she has a chance of beating Grace. But if as long as they do that,
we have like 3 to 4 weeks till the pay-per-view. So
and DeLander's got a lot of size and name value that comes with her, so she's definitely more legitimate of a challenger than anybody else on the Knockouts roster at the moment.
For right now, yeah.
Even though she still has no chance of winning, she still is the most. It's sort of like when you get like a Christian Cage facing Kenny Omega for the title. It's like, yeah, he's not going to win, but it's interesting. I don't think DeLander would win at this point.
The Cardona thing, because Cardona and Jordynne Grace have history with the Digital Media Championship. Jordynne Grace was the first Digital Media Championship champion.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So there's threads there.
Because of him, yeah.
So
Cardona, there are threads to unravel here. I like it.
Yup.
So this could be Cardona's ticket to get back at Jordynne Grace. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Let's see how long Cardona sticks around this go around.
Hopefully until at least Slammiversary,
Oh yeah, no.
Give it a couple months.
Cardona's always a treat to see. So.
Mm-hmm.
Now we had a couple of segments happening. The first one was Maclin and the Rascals arguing backstage, and then Rascal said, "Yeah, fuck you, Maclin. You're on your own again." And this made Maclin accidentally bump into Sabin.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because of this, they have a match. Well, they're gonna have a match tonight. That's our main event. And then we go to locker room. Sabin's like, "Oh, it's good that Shelley and Kushida, they got along," type of thing. They won the match. It's like, yeah, says you type of thing. Like, yeah, I'm still holding the grudge against Kushida. And you're like, yeah, it's a problem for you. Why you bringing us involved for your family Maclin? That's a you issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because ours, me and Kushida, that was our thing. And now you weren't there for that, so why are we going to be there for your match? So basically,
iffy.
a heel Shelly on his way out as a full-time TNA guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's been enough stories buzzing around that I'm pretty sure most of us have seen the taping information about who may not be around much longer. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't mind Shelley
Right.
being petty. That's completely within his character.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
always kind of taken shortcuts sometimes and gotten arrogant and petty and bitchy. So it's kind of nice. I hope that we get some kind of rub for Kushida and Kevin Knight, because
Absolutely.
if the Guns just piss off as like whiny babies who are just petty and mad and
Yeah.
leave Kushida and Knight sitting there going, "What the fuck happened?" Like,
What do we do?
more or less, yeah.
But they're pros. I would be shocked if they didn't give them a rub because Motor City Machine Guns can go anywhere and be amazing. But I would love to see Kushida and Knight benefit from that.
That's the only thing I'm really hoping, but I don't have a ton of faith in the new regime, so to speak, because it's still very new.
Yes, but hopefully they'll stick around to Rebellion until they decide where they're going to go, whether it's freelancing, or the AEW, or those are really the options. Just freelancing or those two at this point.
I mean, they're 5'9", 160. They're perfect for AEW, so.
Yeah.
I know that's a shot, but they're going to crush it if they go. Like, it's going to be great.
They'll outshine the rest of their tag team division.
Not saying much.
That's a fine. That's a fine for you, Andrew.
Ooh.
I know. Brian Dance is going to see this and go, "That's it. Fine. I'm going to find your fucking wallet."
Yeah, well, him and his vegan stuff can go find elsewhere.
Yeah, he doesn't have his vegan powers. Scott Pilgrim lied to us. The next promo that happened was Vault ABC. It's like there's going to be a little bit of turmoil there because Ace wanted Bay to not focus on the X Division and focus on the tag belts because they have a rematch clause soon. He's like, well, you fought Kazarian, and that was a singles match thing, so why weren't you doing tag team stuff with that? You know what? We'll make it even. I'll go fight Kazarian. I'll fight him next week. So, is this going to be where they split up, or is this going to be a little quick bickering and get back to normal?
I mean, minor bickering's fine. I just don't want every team to break up the same way. I'm tired. It's a trope as old as time.
Or near the same time, because like we're going to have the MK Ultra, and then potentially Motor City.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know. I'm okay with a little bit of hey, I'm questioning what you're doing. Well, that was because he disrespected both of us. Okay, well, he pushed me around, so I'm going to go fight him. Okay, that actually makes sense logically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that. So, cool. I don't want ABC to break up. I love ABC. Keep them together.
Yes. And then we had the next promo, which is GYV. They're on the ring, but Diener, of all people, interrupts them.
I want to hear what Andrew says first, because I have several thoughts, and my girlfriend had several thoughts on this. So, okay, Andrew, you sighed. Was that because you didn't like the 2-on-1 stuff?
I don't like Diener. That's the whole gimmick. Like, he's fine as a comedy guy, but I think he's completely outlived his usefulness. And now this whole, pulling the audience for everything on what he does, like, that felt real forced, and it felt clunky. And it's just, he's not a convincing underdog, never has been. When he was tagging with ODB a decade ago, when he was a comedy character who was a knockouts champion, because that was the angle they ran like a decade ago. When him and Jake Something came back and they were the Diener cousins and he was just the happy-go-lucky trailer redneck kind of character, and then went crazy under the design. Like, I'm like, I think they want him to be like Eric Young 2.0, where he can do goofy stuff, like when he was Team Canada and just take bumps and Super
Don't
Eric
fire
and stuff like that. But yeah, don't fire Eric. Yes, but Diener doesn't work for me. Like GYV is fine. The setup is fine. I'm just not sold on caring about Diener in the least bit.
The fans seemed to like it though, because I thought they set it up really nicely that he was going to challenge the one grizzled veteran, but then when he said both, and the crowd was like, "Oh yeah, no, we like that," and I was wondering, like, okay, is he going to have a tag partner come out, or is he going to be
I was
just?
waiting for a tag partner. And he's like, sucker punch.
Yeah, so it worked out. The one thing though, at this point, I think this was the second time that Santino was mentioned, and I'm like, is he even there, or are they just name dropping him? I will say, this is why I wanted to bring up, I wanted Andrew to go first, because if he didn't like it, I actually did. My girlfriend liked aspects of it, but we actually didn't love Diener either, but really liked the way the veterans came looking after it. So the post-apocalyptic Philly, great line. I would not trust the fans in Philly to put me in a 2-for-1. And the fact that Tom Hannafin said, like, I'm from Philadelphia, you're not going to badmouth us. But then it's like, yeah, we are actually a bloodthirsty bunch. We did screw Diener over by saying 2-on-1, but like the veterans came out looking pretty okay. They looked like assholes because they're beating up this one guy. If this is what Diener's going to do, yeah, I'm fine with it. You come out, you get beat, you make the other people look better, you make the heels look better. It worked for me in that aspect, and I loved that it was Philly. It made it even better for me. But you're right, I didn't come out looking at Diener a lot more positively, but I did look better. It did make the veterans look better for me, and I guess if that's what they were trying to do, it worked.
That's fair. Yeah, basically just GYV just beating the shit out of anyone that gets in the ring with them.
And it worked. And if it's going to be Diener, okay, we like seeing Diener get beat up. It's fine.
Yes, right? Just do a little quicker. Just do it a little
Not
quicker
terrible.
next time.
Yeah, a little quicker. He doesn't need to come back.
I liked him getting a little bit of offense, and like, there's no world he's winning, but at least he gets a chance to look at. And honestly, if they're looking at an Eric Young 2.0, okay, but he's not going to get to the same level as that. As long as you're not expecting him to become the guy in any way, shape, or form.
Oh no, I think that time and that even plans for that is like long gone.
The Eric Young as the guy thing still took like a decade. Because that was right around
and
when
it also
Impact
was,
name shifted over, and the first time they gave him the belt was when he found it in the trash can. He basically pulled a hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah, and it all took Danielson winning the belts at WrestleMania. Yes. Like, oh, let's do it. Let's do it now. And it's like, oh, it's original because ignore him growing a long beard. Ignore all of this. This didn't happen. You didn't see anything.
Yeah.
It's like, we know what you did, Dixie. Stop.
More or less.
After that, Nick Nevin is in the backstage interview, talking about the system, and Alex Shelley interrupts. So I beat the system, even though he didn't. But it's like, it's Kushita's fault. Blame him. He doesn't understand the American rules or some shit. I don't know. But then Nick's like,
it was his interpreter's fault, just like Shohei Ohtani. We'll bring baseball into this.
Exactly.
I liked it, and when they said it, Shelley met Nemeth is like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Once I'm champ, you'll be the first shot. And Shelley's like, no, let's do it faster. I got excited about it, actually. I think
you'll get rusty. You gotta get ready.
Yeah. I liked it.
It's fun. I don't think Shelley has a chance at winning just because Nemeth is set up for a bigger, spot. But
absolutely,
it'll add to Shelley's pettiness and fire to want to leave or whatever their exit angle is.
And it gives Nick a big win against another former champion, first with Maclin and now with Shelley. So,
and it's important that when you lose, like we said this about Knight 7 years ago, the last time I was on this podcast.
Accurate.
As long as you come out looking good, it doesn't matter that you lose. Like, we knew he was going to lose, but you had to make us care about you, and Knight did that. So even in the upcoming match, Shelley is not going to beat Nemeth, but as long as Shelley comes out with something, it's going to be fine. More bitchiness, that's great. Even the next match, though, you see the person that comes down, they're not going to win. They have no shot. but you better make me care. And at the end, I did, but I'll let you segue into that.
Yep, because that is next. Josh Alexander, he comes out. He's decided to be in Philly, and he has an open contract for a match tonight, and he wants to use it for Hammerstone, and he wants him to have his big ass out there. I mean, it's kind of big, but he was very specific for saying big ass to Hammerstone, and then we hear music, and it's not Hammerstone, it is Tracy Williams, and he came out. He's calling himself the best in the world. The best wrestler. He wants to fight. He wants this opportunity in TNA. He's waited long enough. Let's get this match going.
I want to say really quickly here because Amy my girlfriend was the one that actually made this notice this. When Alexander comes out, she's like, oh, this guy must be a big deal, but why doesn't everybody get an entrance? Because I actually care more about this guy because he's got a big entrance. And so that's when it was a callback to the opening 8-man, where it's like, yeah, I really wish the women had got at least something, because other than Ash by Elegance, why would you care? You know? And so Alexander getting the entrance is really cool. I was excited to see Hot Sauce, and I like Josh getting to face random people before the Hammerstone stuff, because obviously that's going to be awesome when they do that with how this feud is going. But I like Josh getting to face random people. And I like that TNA seems to be wanting to put Alexander over. I really, really like seeing matches like this, where I know he's going to win, but it's going to be a great match. Everybody's going to come out looking better for being there, and hopefully this means more Hot Sauce.
Yeah, I think we'll see him next week against with what happened next, because after Josh won, crowd was into it, gave a little ovation. As after it's been shown, Hammerstone attacked both of them, giving Tracy the torture rack.
Looks great.
It's nice to see too. Yes. Nobody does that anymore. Really.
And it looks so painful. Like a finisher is good when she jumped up and was like, oh, he killed him, and it was perfectly executed. So kudos to those two. And then the handshake after, the crowd was like, both these guys, which is a weird chant, but respectful. And then they handshake, and then the big Hammerstone beatdown. I love everything about this, and having Hot Sauce take it so that it shows more of him willing to be a dick, willing to put the headgear on him, and just to be a prick. I liked it very much, and then I'm now so eager to see Josh Alexander get his hands on Hammerstone. I want it, and I want it bad. Also, she said that Hammerstone's torso is twice the size of mine, so I think she's leaving me.
Back in the world of just you go.
It is what it is.
Hammerstone is a big boy. I have seen him in person a few times. Like that, that's no joke.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He definitely pulled up a little bit more, and he made the torture rack look devastating. I don't know who the last person that did it.
I can't even remember. I tried to actually think about that, and I'm like, I haven't seen. Huh?
Was it Ezekiel Jackson?
Oh,
maybe that.
Yeah, that's a long time ago, though. Really,
like over 10 years.
It still didn't look great.
No, this was Lex Luger-esque mid-90s.
Yes,
I loved it.
Yes, the look, the everything, the execution. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm excited for the rubber match with Hammerstone and Alexander for sure.
Yeah, I want them to fight.
I gave this like a 3.25.
That's what I gave it to. Yes.
Fair.
Yeah, but still solid match. I'm excited for that one for next week. And we go to the back. It is Mustafa Ali revealing his PWI cover to Santino
This
Marella.
might be his best promo ever.
Yes.
At least we finally saw Santino, so people can stop name dropping him.
Yeah. Also, the last time we had an X Division champion on the cover for PWI was when Samoa Joe was champion.
Hey, he was huge.
And they showed it him out. I loved it. Yes. Oh yeah, great promo.
Yes, and then he has to talk about who is this Jake Sullivan? He wants what he's too big for the X Division. And they oh no, on contraire, it is no limits for X Division. That's what's so great about it. And then also Mustafa Ali just brought up a random name, Rhino. And then, of course, Rhino was coincidentally behind him. And then he said, like, and it's like, he's behind me. Did he get?
And it's such a lame trope, but they did it so fast that it was still effective for me.
Yeah.
And then it being in Philly, it was all great.
Plus the fact that when he turns, he calls him Mr. Rhinoceros.
Yes!
Like, I thought that was just a great, like, punctuation to the awkwardness. And I'm like, all right, Ali, that's a good promo.
If this is what we're going to see from Ali, yeah, I'm all in on Ali.
Just stop saying you're not the champion we need.
Yeah, just get more than one taunt when you're in the ring. That's all I'm asking for.
But Rhino's like, I want a match. I want to face you. But not for the belts. Old school rules. The Santino made it so.
Does he normally do the I Dream of Jeannie thing? Because that was hysterical. We both popped.
He does whatever the fuck he wants to.
Yeah, he'll do it any way he sees fit.
Him and R-Truth are the funniest wrestlers of all time for me. Top two. I switch back and forth as to who's funnier.
Tozawa's getting there, though.
Who's that?
Tozawa's getting there.
I mean,
I think Yano's funnier than Tozawa.
I also like you from Dragon Gate, so
I think Yano is funnier than Tozawa.
Yano's a legend, yeah. He's in the conversation. If there's like a Mount Rushmore, it's those three, and then I have to think about the fourth.
Yes.
I mean, I would give it to Hollywood Stalker, but that's just me. See? Matt popped just for the name. That's how funny this motherfucker is.
I get it. That's what damn it. I didn't from you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh god, I love him. All right, I take it back. All right, yeah, we'll go with it. I'm okay with it. Next match, Eddie Edwards against Mike Bailey. Bailey and Sabin are of course the number one contenders for the tag team titles. So they're gonna have a little one-on-one with one half the champions and then one of the competitors. Of course, Bailey's great, and Edwards, he can still go in the ring. So it was a nice little match, back and forth. What you call it?
I didn't feel like it was that back and forth, though. I really thought that they gave Speedball so much offense. Like, they really let him shine. I thought.
Oh, yeah. Like they want him. Of course, even if he wasn't going to win, he still had to look good, which that's a good thing to do. So
I feel like that was her favorite.
Say that again.
Speedball himself or the match?
Speedball got a lot of offense. She loved the flips, the kicks. Everything looked fantastic. And then Edwards getting to pick it up at the end. Like, I actually really liked how they did it. It didn't feel like super back and forth. It really looked like, man, Speedball's got him. But he'll make one crucial mistake or something, and then it's over. But then the match continued, and then you really see okay, Speedball really screwed up, and Edwards, being the veteran, really knows what he's doing, was able to finish him off. And I liked the way they told the story in the ring, and both guys looked great. I think this was my favorite match of the night. Yeah,
I would say so. I like that. Yeah, I like that system is still going strong, remaining undefeated in this. Like I think the only time they really lost was the Okada return. But then again, it was Okada, but
true. And I think the only thing that made it feel more back and forth for me is the way they sold Eddie's Noah All Japan and Kobashi chops.
Yes.
The fact that every time he chopped, Mike once, it took 1 or 2 or 3 kicks to like return that kind of power back. Mm-hmm. So it was like death by 1,000 cuts almost from Bailey. Like
and it was over time. Yeah, like Edwards could chop him down, but then Speedball just kept coming back. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the chops were fantastic. I loved both these guys, and I want to see more of them. This makes me care about a big tag team match. Definitely.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we'll get Sabin and Brian Myers in the next match.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But for that, like, would you give that win to Myers or do Sabin get a surprise?
You have to give Sabin the win, don't you? Just to kind of validate that.
Okay, Brian can take the fall though, so yeah.
Brian can take so it's like you have to give Sabin the win, or you have to make it a lot of interference and just bullshit on why Sabin loses.
We saw that today, right? We still saw that today. Like, yes, Speedball made a mistake, but you could make the argument he was distracted because he had to deal with so much outside crap. I would actually be fine with both of them losing the singles matches, but showing that as a tag team they're better, and that's where it's dangerous. Like they're not going to be competitive in the singles, but when you team them together, I think you could go either way. And I'm still looking forward to that match too. I think Sabin and Myers are going to tear the house down.
Also, a beautiful sequence with the attempt to go for the Ultimate Weapon. Eddie rolled out of the way, and quick Boston Knee Party.
Yep.
Back of the head.
Yep.
1, 2,
Beautiful.
3. I gave it a 3.5. I really enjoyed this match.
Same.
Like I said, they're both great talents, and I am definitely excited for the tag title match at Rebellion. But before that, though, we gotta get to Sabin and Myers whenever that happens. That's another match I will be looking forward to. We go to the back again, and the feud will never end. It will never be over.
Maybe it'll be
PCO.
over after Full Metal Mayhem. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we have the Full Metal Mayhem at Rebellion, and we're also going to have a Monsters Ball
Or
at
that
Rebellion
one.
because PCO challenged Khan.
I hate everything so much.
Monsters Ball.
The PCO stuff looked awesome. As somebody that's just coming in to watch it, it looks awesome. So that was
PCO
definitely...
is fine. He's
It's
not
just
my
Khan.
problem with this setup.
Yeah.
And the last 2 matches they had, not so good.
They're trash. They're just overbooked garbage. Khan sucks. Like, stop it.
We tried. We tried. We tried to give him a chance.
That was your first problem.
I know. But we had a vignette. FBI returns next week.
Okay. Now, is it going to actually be the FBI? Are we going to get
like
Guido? Or are we going to
and
get
all
Vito? Or is it just going to be Guido?
Guido and Tony, or
Tony Mamaluke? Or
Yeah.
I know Vito still kind of does appearances. I don't know if Vito would do
Super
this.
cool guy. I would love to see him come back. Vito is such a cool guy. Big fan.
Yeah, Vito's good people.
Yeah, let me
100%.
see.
He still talks about coming back up to Canada to do some wrestling up here, so I'm all in on Vito as well. But yeah, I don't know what version of FBI. It was not clear.
Because I know Guido showed up a couple times on random stuff they've done, but they don't usually give him a package saying that the FBI is showing up. They're just like, little Guido or little Nunzio or whatever the fuck they call him for.
Mama Luke is retired as of 2018.
But is anybody ever really retired?
If you come back for that one little run, we'll see. Trying to think who else.
It's in Philly.
Point of announcing it then. So
yeah, I know. So I don't know if it's just for the Philly pop because ECW arena.
Probably. Yeah, they are in the 2300 arena. So we'll see. Kazarian cuts a promo. Talk about Eric Young and the Full Metal Mayhem. This is when Chris Bay walked up to him to challenge him. We have a match. And we get a replay of Rich Swann turning on Joe Hendry to join AJ Francis 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you
I
didn't
should
want
not
to
love this as much as I do.
You didn't want to mention fucking Chris Bay's best line that even popped Kaz, which is why he brought it back up in the promo. With the whole, this isn't a water park, I'm not going to let that slide. And then Kaz is just like, oh, bet you think you're fucking clever, not going to let it slide, huh? Yeah, but he's like, damn it, that is a good line. You could tell on his face, he's like, fuck, that's a good line.
Yeah. He's corpsing.
More or less. Botchamania is going to use that one for now, for corpsing.
So. Yeah, send for the man.
Yeah.
But Red Swan, AJ Francis there in the ring. They didn't get an entrance. They're just in the ring. They talk about Red Swan, and they dub themselves First Class. Because this was
I want to jump in here really quick. First off, the reason they can't get an entrance is because First Class didn't exist before this promo. And she said, "Are you getting bored?" And I said, "I'm getting there. It's a little long." She goes, "Yeah, it's going too long." And this is Rich Swann explaining the whole backstory. But then AJ saying, "I'll keep it short and sweet because the people of Philadelphia they don't have the attention span." And she's like, "Oh, I feel called out." As I'm typing in my notes, Amy gets called out by first class. And then they said, if you're not first class, you're last. He said they should have said dead last. It would have sounded better. I agree. Somebody let AJ Francis know. But I love this little team up. And this is the first time I think I've cared about Rich Swann in forever.
Since his title run?
Even then, I don't think I cared about it. I remember him winning the title. I'm like, I don't like Rich
Swann.
I
mean, TNA didn't care either. That's how they took it off.
He played second fiddle to Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but having him... Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was around that time. I didn't think... I liked the partnership and everything, but I didn't like Rich Swann in that spot. I didn't think he fit. However...
I actually did not like that partnership.
I hated the partnership.
And that's fine. But the second...
it was just more... It didn't benefit TNA.
Agreed. It should have. It didn't. But I thought it was going to. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, okay, you know what? They'll get some TV time, but no, they only like let's try to poach Gallows and Anderson. Let's fuck these other guys.
Yeah, but Rich
and they
Swann
saw they were getting no reaction.
It was
like,
like it was Steve Maclin or somebody in that spot. I would have been happy with it. It would have been a lot better. But Rich Swann, I didn't care. I actually like him as a secondary to AJ Francis. I think it works. I like this first class. Rich Swann can be a smarmy asshole. It makes me care about him. I like him in that role.
And this is the thing with AJ Francis. Like, he really didn't change anything from WWE. It's just, he just has a mic. That's really it. That's really the only thing. Like we see him work. We know it works, but like he's hardly talked. And now we're getting these promos from him. Mm-hmm. So basically, you don't have to always reinvent yourself. Just tweak what you have.
And Joe Hendry is the perfect guy to get me to care about Francis too, because I like Francis's rapping. First off, I actually think it's not terrible.
Joe Hendry
the parodies are on their perfection. I love them so much, and I can't wait to see the first class counter. Like, there's going to be a counter to it from Hendry, and I can't wait for it. I love it. Love it.
Hello, Ethan. How you doing? Welcome to the show, and thank you for joining us. Hope you have a seat. Have a seat.
My curiosity is, I wonder if they said if you're not first class, you're last, and didn't change it at all to make it like just sound more, dynamic or make more sense.
You sit in coach now.
Was because they're going for the Talladega Nights reference. Like, if you're not first, you're last. And if that's where Joe Hendry takes his parody song to like some kind of Talladega Nights, Will Ferrell race car, Bobcat kind of bullshit, I'd
be fan. Yeah.
I'm all for it.
I can't.
Because that's exactly what I thought. As soon as they said if you're not first class, you're last, I'm like, is that a Ricky Bobby right there? Like, did you just really do that to me?
I knew it sounded familiar, and I didn't put two and two together, but yeah, you're right. I like that. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
So if Joe Hendry comes out with a Bobcat.
If he doesn't, missed opportunity.
There we go.
Just call Mike Tyson. He's got a tiger. He might have a Bobcat. You never know.
Yeah. That's not the only Mike Tyson reference that's coming tonight. Just heads up.
Okay. I inadvertently foreshadowed something. Look at that. Fucking A.
No, this is good. I'm all for it later.
I'm curious where the next Mike Tyson reference is coming in. All right.
But anyway, Tom Hannafin has a sit-down interview with Laredo Kid, the man that has disappeared on explosions.
Perforated intestine. Holy crap. I am so glad he's okay. I am so glad he's coming back. That is terrifying.
Oh yeah, no, that was
it was crazy. Yeah,
I thought he was done after that. I was like, no.
Yeah,
but
didn't Zema Ion have some similar situation?
Yeah,
a couple years before that too, and he came back in about a year's time too. So it's just wrestlers are fucking crazy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, now my question is, will they actually start to use Laredo Kid going forward? Because he's been just I hate to say it for Laredo Kid, I think he's a talented guy. They've been using as just nothing more than enhancement talent. They got the hardly.
Do you really think they have plans for him? I'm surprised he got this interview section.
If you're breaking him from Mexico for like as long as while, like he's basically part of the roster. It's something. Get a win or two.
He gets a win here or there. Don't worry about it.
Like what? The last one was like what? Last year?
Maybe.
I think they could do something, but it's they just have to make you care about him. And if he's just going to constantly lose, and
that's okay. This should be the start of it with the interview. Like, like are they actually going to use it after, or is it just going to be the same shit?
Guess we'll find out, because last person to do the interview with Hannafin was Crazy Steve.
Oh boy.
And Crazy Steve, no, but that's good for Steve at least, because he reinvented himself and beat Dreamer for the Digital Media Championship. So it led to something. So if this leads to something, maybe. But I have zero faith. They've had Laredo Kid in and out of Impact TNA for 4 or 5 years now and have done fuck all. So
yeah, we'll find out if they are gonna go forward with him at least. But in the meantime, we got some matches announced for next week. Zaya, Brookside, and Ash by Elegance. Also, Nemeth and Shelly. So we got the 2 matches. So no Ash and Zaya at Rebellion. Looks like it's going to happen at next week's show. But our main event, Steve Maclin against Chris Sabin, former world champion and a 10-time X Division champion. I like what they're doing. They're rebuilding Maclin. There's no Rascals this time. It's all on him. But what you call it? It's a nice match for Sabin. Still trying to be that babyface type of thing, despite what's going on with everything happening.
What match were you watching that you thought Sabin was still doing the babyface thing?
So at the very beginning, because I love that you brought this up. So at the very beginning, the crowd's going, "Let's go Sabin, let's go Maclin, let's go," and they're back and forth, and I'm like, "Oh."
That's why I say trying.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, are they both going to babyface it up?" And then later on in the match, Maclin starts yelling at the crowd. I'm like, "Oh, they're still having Maclin be heel," and because I was wondering that too. I was wondering if they're going to do the double babyface thing, or if they're going to try and start where they're going to start going with it. Also, really quickly, they finally introduced the announcers before the main event. Like, come on, top of the show. Anyway, so in the match, they're doing all of this, and I loved the fact that Sabin starts working the left arm. It's pretty great. But at one point, he starts biting Maclin, and my girlfriend, without missing a beat, going, "They're not going to get disqualified for that." Mike Tyson. I was like, he bit his ear off. Like,
there you go.
So I just loved that she randomly brought up an Evander Holyfield thing from the late night.
It's like, this fucking guy.
This fucking guy bites.
Biting his ear. So anyway.
If he spat out a chunk of skin, then that'd be a different story.
Yeah, if you don't bite off a chunk of skin, is it really biting?
Yes. He's just aggressively kissing his head. That's
exactly. But I liked the match too. I really like Steve Maclin. I know I mentioned that a month ago, but I really, really like him. I was hoping he was going to win this. I assumed he was going to win this, and I was really the false finish. I was really glad that wasn't the end, because it was convoluted and I didn't like it. But the actual finish was fantastic.
Yes.
I was expecting Motor City. I was expecting Shelly or someone else to come out to make it feel like they were going to help Sabin, but really not.
Sabin wrestled like he was Alex Shelley so hard in this match. I think that's where the reference is coming, because Sabin went for small joint manipulation, which is usually a Shelley thing. That's not really a Sabin thing. Yeah, Sabin can do submissions.
He can do it, but there's more for Shelley. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the biting. He took a couple quick shortcuts, and even announce team brought that up. Is that a couple shades of Shelley right there, where things get a little dicey. They cut a corner here, there, and then they continue to babyface. So I think they're just both gonna end up being like crotchety old men surrounded by children, and they're hurt and they're tired and they want to leave, and that's gonna be their whole gimmick.
Are you not excited for that though?
Only if there's a payoff with what we were talking about before, with the Jet Setters getting a rub, or someone needs a rub. And if they don't give the rub, then that's bad booking.
Agreed. But if they do.
Oh, that's fine then, yeah.
Not bad. Brilliant. Let's go.
Correct.
Yeah. But I like Steve Maclin. I want him at the top of the card. I want him as high up on the card as we can.
He needs to do over with the world title run.
I mean, but the system has it and they're all heels. So
I
until the system no
know.
longer
Doesn't have
has
to be
it,
immediate.
It's a waiting game at this point.
But it can be a slow build. Let us care about Maclin beating all these people over
Yeah.
time. It works for me. It doesn't have to be
As long as
immediate.
they do that, I am okay with it. As it's just a matter of who is going to beat Moose for said title.
it
There
also
are
just
so many
matters
people
the
that I
timing.
care about now. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the timing, but no, continue with your piece.
I was just going to say that I cared about so many people at the end of the night, that you could put anybody up at the top and it's going to work for me. Steve Maclin, I could see they decide to make him a baby face. I mean, it seems like the crowd in Philly wanted to cheer for him. So
Well, he's from Jersey, so
Yeah, I'll say it's from Jersey. It's like it's the hardcore crowd, and then he's a hardcore guy.
yeah, and who's the crowd that turns people? The hardcore fans. They're gonna be the ones that are gonna help turn somebody if they want to do that. They would just have to decide to want to do that. But I would be okay with it either way, whether Maclin stays heel and eventually is the guy that, like, whoever beats Moose, the Maclin feuds with or whatever. But I just want Maclin to be in a highlighted position because I don't think he got the opportunity previously. I don't think the casual fan has really had a chance to enjoy his work. And if they watched it tonight, I think they would be a fan of Steve Maclin, and he would be right
Yeah.
up there with Hammerstone and Mustafa Ali, that did a really good job of putting themselves over. Speedball too. Like, there was a lot to like tonight, and Steve Maclin was one of the highlights for me.
Yeah, and I like that you mentioned the casual fan, because we're going by casual fan. The last time they seen Macklin was the Forgotten Sons.
Yeah,
and that was a while ago. So
and that's something a lot of us would like to forget.
We all did. Especially
what are you talking about?
Gunner.
Yeah, Gunner. What, Jackson Riker, was that his WWE name? Yeah, fucking.
With like
He was so much better as Gunner.
Yeah.
They didn't really let him talk. He didn't get his political shit in the way.
Yeah, he showed promise as Gunner, and then for some reason it just didn't happen. Whether it's just his actual issues in the back or whatever. But like, yeah, we had people like him, Bram, and fucking Jesse Goddard, who were like had potential to be top guys.
Crimson showed potential for a while too, and
then after the undefeated streak, that was it.
Essentially, yeah. They gave him like what, a year of undefeated streak, and then
he lost to James Storm. Yeah, he lost to James Storm, and then he turned heel, and then that was it.
Yep.
But he started fine as the little brother of Amazing Red.
Yeah, twice his size. Yeah.
Like same hair, same color outfit, but he's just like wearing like shorts.
It'd be interesting. I think my only small, it's not a complaint, but curiosity with booking is with what you said, Randy, with all of the people to care about. That makes the top of the card a little weird, because if Nemeth wins, but we want, say, Alexander to get up there, Hammerstone to get up there, and then Maclin to get up there, what is too short and what is too long? Because you don't want to play hot potato with the title. You don't want them to lose it like in their first defense. And if it's like 2 or 3 and they have it for like a month or something like that and they drop it, then that could just feel bad to some people, because they might feel like it's disrespect.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that. And there's a happy medium. For example, if we look at WWE, some people really hate the extended reign of Roman. I like it now. I thought it was a little iffy at first, but I actually appreciate the longer reigns that are happening in promotions. And if we're talking about prestige, the way that TNA could really succeed is by having, whether it's Moose or Nick Nemeth, continue to have these matches and face people where you could see them lose, but they continue winning. It builds the prestige in the title reign, and I would be a fan of seeing that. I do think Nick Nemeth should be the champion. Is it going to be this quick? Okay. If it is, then who does he get to face? There's a lot of people that he could face. Eventually Hammerstone, eventually Steve Maclin. I'd be a huge fan of those feuds. But
if Nemeth wins, what would be your response to people that haven't watched TNA in, say, a decade, going, oh, typical TNA bullshit. They take a WWE B guy and make him their champion just because he's a known household name?
I don't think you're going to win those people over regardless. So I wouldn't care about them. I mean, you
I'm
could do
just
the same
asking a
thing about
question.
Ali. and Ali's been incredible. You know, if you're looking at the actual wrestling fan that's looking for something entertaining to watch, they know who Dolph Ziggler is, and they're like, "Oh, Nick Nemeth, that's interesting." And yeah, he's in the main event. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. He's the biggest name in TNA, probably. I think if you're looking at it legitimately, you see why they would put him in that spot. I don't think he has to be the champion just yet. I think that he'll do what he's been doing for more than 15 years, making the other person look amazing. Moose is going to hit him with a spear that's going to look like absolute death, and both guys will come out way ahead. But if Nick Nemeth is in Impact for the long haul, I would be fine with him having a title reign of however it needs to be. Maybe he's the guy that puts Maclin over and we love it. I don't know. I would be fine. If Nemeth wins, what's the next step? I don't know yet. I don't think we're there, which is why I lean toward Moose probably retaining and then they continue it. But I'm excited about the top of TNA's card because I feel they could go in a multitude of directions, and I think that there is a potential for some really good prestigious run, whether it's Moose continuing as champ or Nick Nemeth taking the ball and running with it. TNA needs some really good stuff at the top of the card, and at least from shows like tonight and what little I've been able to follow over the last month, it feels like TNA has the potential to move forward in a way that's going to at least potentially get the eyeballs of the wrestling fan that has a lot of choice right now. TNA is not a joke. They're doing some really fun stuff.
Right.
That's a good response.
Actually, yeah, that is a very good response.
The tribalism in wrestling is stupid. I want all promotions to succeed. Sure. And you know what? Nick Nemeth never got a shot in WWE to be the top guy. He should be. He should get that opportunity.
He did, but he got injured at the wrong times.
Well, are you really going to tell me that when he was the world champ, he was the number one guy in the company?
Well, no, the cash-in, yes, but...
the cash-in was amazing, but it wasn't supposed to be that amazing. They didn't want it to be that amazing. It's one of the best cash-ins ever, but, I mean, they didn't...
Yeah, that's the way better, too. Like, he had opportunity. Like, he was going to be a champion, but he kept getting hurt whenever he got so close, whether it was his shoulder, his elbows, or... And it's just always bad timing. Like with Ziggler, when he was world champion, he had like concussion. So
similar things happen with Mr. Anderson, Mr. Kennedy, whatever you want to know him as.
Yeah, it's just if those didn't happen, yeah, he definitely would have been.
Well, I mean Anderson Kennedy, I think that was more, safety in the ring. But I truly don't think that Nemeth gets the respect from the top. It got the respect from the company the way he should have, and I'm happy that he is seemingly going to get those opportunities with other promotions.
Yeah.
Oh no, it could be good.
Yeah, and I think he's hardly had any injuries too after the outside concussion. I don't think he had like a legitimate injury, whether it was like a tear or anything like that. Like he's been safe for the most part.
And he's been doing great stuff with whatever he's been given. It's just I want him to be given more. I really like him.
Yeah, no, the Nemeth is definitely a great asset. Hopefully, he does stick around for TNA in the long run for a little bit. As regards to him being champion, I don't see it now, but if they do, then I see there's an opportunity for Maclin to get that win back for Nemeth to get him over.
Agreed.
So hopefully that's the direction they take it. Like I wouldn't mind Nemeth being the champion eventually. But I also really like the system being 4 Horsemen 2.0, Fortune, Main Event Mafia, whatever, allegory you want to make to it. Like,
it's been a while since we had a good, legitimate top heel stable in TNA.
Usually they're cool for a month and then they start to
turn
immediately.
Or they turn into the design where when
Callahan
had it and then it turned into Flock after.
Stop making Andrew sad with your terrible references.
It wasn't even good when Callahan was kind of sort of not in it. That was just a weird time.
Yeah, I like having a dominant heel faction. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's actually competent and not just smarmy shithead heels.
Yeah,
agreed.
Like it's all business, all money. We look good. We're chance for a reason. Eddie Edwards definitely. Brian Myers, best run in a while for him. And Moose is great, so
big fan of Moose.
Cardona coming back makes it interesting too with Myers.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder that too. She did have questions about why Moose wasn't out there, and I'm like, he's the world champ. He's not going to drop. He's not going to lower himself to this level.
He's not going to.
He's a world champ.
He's not going to go to Philly, period. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Philly? That's why you're not going to Philly. There we go.
Post-apocalyptic Philadelphia. Love it.
I live 45 minutes away from there, so yes. I've been to the 2300 Arena a few times.
I have not been to 2300 Arena yet.
Really?
No.
Someday, brother.
I was going to go to Mania weekend, but I could not buy WrestleMania tickets. Like, shit. Because I was going to do that, Bloodsport, other random stuff.
MLW stuff runs a lot in the 2300 Arena. That's where I saw them most of the time.
Yeah, I guess whenever next time a weekend off and there's a show going on there, I might take a drive down. And then if I do, I'll let you know, Andrew. We can hang out there.
Yeah.
But if I ever get lost in the woods in Philly.
Yes.
If you can find woods in Philly, you're really lost.
That's the issue.
He's gonna find Gianni again.
Gianni just shows up randomly on the streets of Philly. What the fuck? You're Italian. Wait, never mind. You should be here. And no, shouldn't you be in New York? Stop it. Go.
Who are you? What are you? We don't know why he attacked you. We don't know why he was chasing you.
No comment. None.
We don't
smart money on the no comment right there.
Yeah. But and it was a fun show. We got some entertainment. We got some solid matches, and some hype up for next week. What say you guys?
I'm looking forward to next week. Ash by Elegance and Zaya Brookside is going to be a lot of fun. I really want Nick Nemeth and Alex Shelley. I think is going to be a huge highlight, and I want to see some of the undercard guys too that got a little bit of time today. I hope they get more. And Chris Bay, big fan. Looking forward to that match.
I'm curious what version of Ash we're going to get next week, because the first two matches were she did a lot of gimmick work where it was like kiss the hand and then she kind of freaked out here or there, but things were still a little slow. The last match against Silesia Sparks, like that was a little more aggressive. That was faster. Her rarefied air looked more like a swanton than just like, a cannonball. So that was nice. So I'm curious if we're going to see a little more snap out of Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance, whatever you really want to refer to her as. Or she's going to
be more gimmick again.
Correct. And even though he wasn't on this episode, the whole thing with Dango from last week, talking about factions that might be breaking up, like Dango's whole thing kind of reference to, well, Oleg, you looked like a fucking idiot, and Bravo, you're not doing anything. I'm the only one that's doing anything for us. And, calling him two anchors, that he's trying to like drag along.
I'm still
just
mad.
Blowing up all
Oleg.
the fucking factions.
I'm still mad they squashed Oleg in a minute.
So am I. So was Dango. What Dango said is almost what we said verbatim the week after. Just like, you're a fucking like Sambo fucking fight. Like, what the fuck? Like, you were a legit guy and you got your ass kicked in like 45 seconds.
Like you tapped this guy like half your size. He tapped you. Oh my god!
No factions except the system. That's what it is.
At this point, yeah. Or they're going to make a new system with Kong, PCO, and so.
Stop!
How
it.
dare you?
God.
How
PCO and Kong are just going to
I
start tagging
want
together.
to see how dumb they can make it with those two.
We should end the podcast on that note because we will not be able to go any lower than that. You set the bar so low.
That is fair. You mentioned Khan again. That's one too many.
Yeah, we need more pros in this.
We need more pros.
More pros, less Khan.
Yes.
Less all the cons. Khan, Tony Khan, Nick Khan. Get rid of the cons.
Yeah.
No K's. No K cons.
No K cons.
Yes.
What about Capcom?
No.
Mortal Kombat spells everything with a K, so like
Capcom is dead in the waters.
Okay.
But anyway, guys, that is it for us. You can follow me on Twitter at DamianPhoenix12. You also follow Dirt Sheet Radio at Dirt Sheet Radio. You can find the replay on YouTube or on the Facebook page. And we want to thank John for letting us do this on their social media platform. Very appreciative. We know it's not the big leagues or mid league or whatever you want to call it, but TNA is still TNA. It's still fun. And they need content too, because everything else is still the same. Like, we're here. We're different. We got it. We have storylines. We had a month-long storyline, Devin.
TNA actually fucking kills people too.
Yes.
So like, what
Hell
other
yeah.
wrestling program does that?
Yeah,
I'd say
like,
Lucha Underground because that's not around anymore.
Where else you gonna find a murder mysteries?
Damn right. Where else are you gonna find Gianni Valletta?
Not here.
Fuck, if he ends up in TNA, is that a lower bar than Khan? Is that an upgrade? Is that a downgrade?
If he goes to
Is it a side
TNA,
grade?
if he goes to TNA, we're gonna buy Randy a ticket to go see him.
Oh, there we go. That's it. Yes.
We're gonna
I'm
offer it.
excited.
We're gonna offer it.
We'll offer you as tribute. Just work on your Italian a little bit, you know.
All right, guys, give me your plug so we can get out of here.
IWC War Chief on the Twitter X, whatever the fuck it's called, and Twix, yes, and follow my reviews and other stuff that I may end up doing on thechairshot.com.
Oh, use your head.
Cool. The YouTube's coming, so be on the lookout for that. And if you want to follow me, I will be in the woods.
Yes, back in the woods you go. Just don't get lost. I know. Fucking True Detectives was so enticing. You had to go to Alaska to see what you could find. But
it wasn't like Woody Harrelson or Matthew McConaughey.
I was talking about I was talking about the latest one with Night Country, when they were in Alaska.
But he was talking about the good one.
Yeah, well, I mean, this was good too. This was good too. Compared
Con.
to
Con.
season 2 and 3.
I acknowledge you, War Chief.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll see you. I won't be here next week, so we'll see if CJ would do a host. If not, we'll be back in 2 weeks, guys. Take care. Good night. Fuck off.